everybody, and welcome back to another Dice Tower review. My name is Zee Garcia.
And I'm the rich Tom Vasel.
That is correct. He is a zillionaire, folks. And sometimes I'm a zillionaire, too, when we play Zillionaires Road Trip USA. We're driving around the states. We're buying up all sorts of things and trying to...
Yes, that's what this game feels like.
In the most thematic of ways, line up 4 purchases in a row. That's how you really are the true zillionaire. This is a themed, really, not, I was going to say re-implemented, but it's not. It's the same game. It's a re-themed version of a game that came out some time ago called The Game of 49. Same thing, new coat of paint here, but the game is largely, or really completely, the same. I'm going to go ahead and show you how it works, give you an overview. We'll come on back. We'll give you some thoughts on this new printing from Big Potato. To set up the game, every player gets $49 zillion here. They get the tokens of their chosen color. We shuffle up the cards, and, well, you're ready to begin. So in this game, what you are attempting to do is buy locations as they come up for auction. And if you ever get 4 in a line, whether it be horizontal, diagonally, it doesn't matter, you win the game immediately. So, to begin, we give the gavel here to whoever the start player is. It'll be this player right here, red. And then we reveal a card. That card is going to show us a location and then a minimum bid at the bottom. In this case, space 35. We have this token here, which will not look like much from this top-down view, but this will sit in that location and denote that it is the one up for auction. And then the players begin with the one who revealed the card. So they might say 5 zillion. The next player perhaps says, I'll pay 6 for that. Yellow, not interested. They drop out. We go back over here. The high bid is 6, so red will say 7. Blue will say 8. And then red will drop out. So $8 zillion. And this player will pay that money to the bank. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they will put their token in that location. Once that's done, the gavel will pass to the next player. It doesn't matter who won the auction. The next player will then reveal the next card, 19. They will put this out in that location, and they will begin that bid. They'll pay $2 million. Yellow says 3, red drops out, blue drops out. Fine, yellow will take that for $3 million. They will pay their 3, and they will, it just... happens to be them next, so they will reveal the next card and put something up for auction. 27 with a minimum bid of 5 zillion. 27 is right over here, and so you'll start to see very soon these things start to form patterns and gain importance that is different among the players. Yellow really doesn't care about that location. Blue might be slightly more interested in it. Red, of course, isn't on the board at all yet, so they could very well be interested in it. Some of the cards in here will not feature a single location. They will feature a range of locations, such as this one here. The minimum bid here is 5 zillion, but when you win, you can take any spot between 25 and 40, and they show you here where that is. So it's basically this secondary ring right here. So that will be different per player. If yellow wins, perhaps they would take this location. If blue wins, they've got a few options. They can go here or here, so they can grow that line. Red, of course, could go anywhere they want to. But then after that bid and a winner, and let's say again that red's got something now. They were on 27, and yellow perhaps wins that one. Now we are going to do a payday. You don't always get paid in this game. You definitely have to manage that your money isn't running out. But when one of those cards hits after the auction, there's a payday. And every player is going to get $7 zillion from the bank for every chip they've got out there on the board. So right now, both of these players, we got 7, yellow gets 14, and we move on to the next card. There are also some cards which are the 49, the geographical center of North America, has a minimum bid of 1 zillion, payday after that. But the 49 right in the middle is the most important spot, of course, very central, but also is difficult to retain because if someone does win that one, and then later on another 49 comes up, and there are multiples in here, the new winner will take this over. All of the other ones you keep, the one in the middle, it is possible you will lose. It is also possible, as you saw, that a card is won because of a range of options, such as this one here, the 37. Well, if the 37 comes up later and it's already taken, you just discard that card and we reveal a new one, except for the 49. The 49 is up for bid again, and a different player could win it. And so that's the game. What you are attempting to do, of course, like I said, is have 4 in a line. And when you manage to do that, you win the entire thing. All right, so there you go. Thoughts on this one? I'll start with this new re-theme. The original Game of 49, and I'll compare it a little bit, but I'll try not to do that too much. But I have to touch on it. The Game of 49 had no theme, or a really bad attempt at theme. There was just nothing there. The Game of 49, it was almost marketed to go to big box stores, like to be a mass market game, and B, to make sure your eyes couldn't focus, and would glaze right over it.
It did seem like an odd theming, but it was definitely one of those ones where I remember saying, no. It's not as bad as you think.
You'd have to do that, right?
Yes.
Like anyone who had played it and liked it would have to almost convince someone else that it was not the same game as the image they were looking at.
Now, I just realized that this is published by Big Potato because I had thought it was Breaking Games. That was the original publisher. And you were talking about the theme. So Big Potato also just published a game about the Postal Service.
That's right, yeah.
And in that game, they picked weird city names all over the USA.
Okay.
Like Fart Town or, just dumb names that are actual real names.
Okay.
They did the same thing here. I guess they must have had fun doing that. Because in this, they pick weird things all over America.
Yeah, attractions,
so if you buy these in tandem, you get a slice of Americana.
That's kind of what that is, yeah.
But I do wonder that because when we were going through it, I thought, it's similar to that other game. Same publisher. I'm like, same researcher.
They have the last Blockbuster is one of them, and they've published a Blockbuster game in the past.
Yeah, I think Big Potato leans a little bit on nostalgia, and that's kind of what this theme is in. That being said, there ain't no theme.
No, not really. It's prettier. I will say I think it's a prettier game with some things to look at. They include this sheet, which has the places that are on the cards, and you could read up on, what's that weird statue somewhere in Minnesota? Let me look at that. That's something. It's not a theme, but it's better than nothing, right? So, gameplay, though, is exactly the same. So let's go ahead and talk about that. One thing I'm sure you're going to want to bring up is having played this, 80 years ago, and playing it again now.
Yeah, so I went to look up my original rating of it, and I could not find it. For some reason, I didn't rate this game.
Okay.
I'm going to guess, remembering me liking it, I would have rated it a 7. And I think some of that was some whiplash of, this can't be good, it is good, and also, I do think this game is slightly group dependent.
Sure, yeah.
An auction game, by very nature, is interactive. This game is interactive.
Yes.
I mean, there's a little bit of stealing. I'll steal the 49 back and forth from other people.
It's very minor, but
there's definitely blocking. And to that end, there's a couple things I noticed now looking at the new one. So one is, someday we're going to come up with actual terms for things, but we call it the Kill Dr. Lucky syndrome. I don't know what to call that.
Yeah, it's the idea that someone needs to be stopped, but I'm going to pass and let you be the one to stop them. And then that other player might pass and let the last player at the table be the one to stop them. You have to stop them, or they win right now. But I'm not putting my money on the line. You put your money on the line. It's that idea, right? And there's some of that in here.
It doesn't happen a lot, but if there's 3 in a row and Z's going to put the 4th one down, that leads us into a pattern of what Z just mentioned, and it feels kind of bleh if you have the most money and you're being forced to spend your money to stop Z from winning so that other people can do well in your place.
Yes. Yeah, you're sacrificing yourself right now. Now, I will say, I think the game, the order in which cards come up, when paydays come out, again, just the number that happens to come up, it's very bingo-esque. Does 2 things. One, It makes the game, on the positive side, unpredictable.
Yes.
This is sort of and I think of it this way, this is sort of a party game version of an auction game.
Yes.
As much as that is a thing. The other flip side of that is it's swingy, and it can lead to less fun moments if a payday doesn't come up for straight 10 cards, or someone just gets lucky and happens to go boom, 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 all the things are near you. Well, that sucks. Everything showed up near you. I invested over here in this corner. I haven't seen one of those cards in 20 flips. This leads to that.
Now, I will grant the game that it is short enough that that's not a huge deal.
I agree with that, yeah. And again, it kind of leads to that party sort of atmosphere with it. I think this is a game that will... I don't know. I worry that the people talking about, the game 49 just got reprinted. That was a good game. You should go and play that. Those people who are now discovering it are likely gamers now. And this is going to be something that they try and go... What? What were they recommending me this for?
So let me come around on that end.
Yeah.
I think that this game is still a game. I think it's in Target. Mm-hmm. I'm glad that it's available for people to get. I don't think it is a bad game. Mm-hmm. But I think I've cooled on it for a couple of the reasons I mentioned. But the biggest reason for me is there is a rich get richer moment in the game. Mm-hmm. Which can happen. It's going to happen because I bought a couple things and you could. And if, let's say, Z has 7 properties and I have 4, yes, I can still maybe wait till he spends a lot of money on one property and buy another one. But we could also get 3 paydays in a row or something, and then I'm kind of out of the game. Mm-hmm. Because there's that much more money. I wish there was more of a balancing factor to that. Almost like when there's a payday, everyone gets money, but if you have properties, you got to pay to keep those. Mm-hmm. Almost to balance that. And so... it's not going to happen every game. I've definitely played a version of this game where it's exciting down to the second, but there are also games where it's not exciting. There's also versions where no one has it. So I think the game is a little fragile. Auction games are by nature sometimes fragile because one person can ruin it for everybody else, not even intentionally, but just by going, I'll bid a lot of money on this. Yeah. And it's a property that someone else wants, so then that person has to bid a lot of money. And then that person spends a lot of money, and meanwhile the third person is going, now I'm in the pilot seat. Yeah. So for all those reasons, I'm dropping my rating to a 6. I don't hate it. I mean, if you said let's play Zillionaires, I wouldn't pick it nowadays. Mm-hmm. But if you said let's play it, I'd go, okay, why not? And I'm telling you, there could be, I said I'm giving it a 6. There could be 8 moments
sessions
of the game.
Yeah.
But there could also be 5s and 4s. And I don't know that I want to play a game that volatile. That's just for me. So I've slid on this one a bit.
I agree that it is very volatile like that, and I probably have slid too. I'm giving it a 7, though. I do really like this idea of a party-esque auction game. And there are almost no rules in this thing. I've played this a lot with my parents. The original one, not the reprint here, but it's the same game. I've really enjoyed this one. I think this is one that, unless you're coming in with a lot of experience of other, auctioning games, which this is kind of, I mean, it is, but, it feels like a party game. Then yes, I absolutely get that. And I agree with everything you've said. I just still like it. I have no problem with it. I think there's enough highs and lows and fun and pushing people to overbid on something and then backing out. And waiting for that perfect thing to come out, and it comes out at the wrong time when you just bought something else that wasn't even crucial. Yeah. But you bought it, and now you're like, oh, why did I get that thing? I should have kept my money. But people laugh. Angst. Yeah, it's not bad.
This game reminds me of a bit. It has some similarities to Sequence. Now, Sequence is about playing cards. You're taking a deck of playing cards and doing 5 in a row. Right. But I think the same crowd would like both, actually.
I could see that, yeah. And anyone who just likes lining things up in a line. There's a lot of those games, X in a row kind of games. I would be remiss if I did not mention that there's a 2-player mode in here. Sounds horrible, okay? No, I mean, talk about rich get richer. The amounts that you get go insane. I would not recommend that. But a 3-player game, a 4-player game of this, I'm happy to bring this out. So 7 from me, 6 from Tom. That is a seal of approval, folks. I'm giving it a seal of approval because I still have a lot of fun with this one. I enjoy it. And again, if you want something that's bidding, yes, but lighthearted and fun and can lead to some laughter, I think you're going to have a good time with it. So there you go. Zillionaires. My name is Zee Garcia.
I'm Tom Vasel.
We will see you on the road, folks.
With all the zillions of dollars.
Oh, yeah.